I figure there's going to be a whole bunch of people that aren't here. And I'm going to go into what I call sleep mode presentation because I don't want to waste time trying to get you guys all connected, but I'm going to explain everything as we go along. And I'm going to start out with breakout rooms. And let me see if I can get this to work. Oh, there it is. Okay. What I did with breakout rooms, now, did all of you get your settings set so you have breakout rooms? And you can all turn your, since there's so few of us, everybody can leave their microphone unmuted. Then I'll be able to talk to you and hear you when you start booing. Did all of you get breakout rooms on your settings set from last week so that you have a breakout room icon on your toolbar when you're practicing your stuff? Maybe none of you got around to getting your settings moved, but if you don't turn on breakout rooms, then you won't have them. And the default setting for breakout rooms is off. Breakout rooms are about 2/3 of the way down. When you go to zoom.us/meetings and you go down to settings, that's where you find them at. And that was last week's lesson, which I erased this morning. But I'm going to go over that again next week. Let me give you a little preview of next week. I've written a 2-page, I call it a Rotary Speech Contest cheat sheet. And I was thinking, what would be something that I would really like to have if I had to set up a speech contest for Rotary? And that's a cheat sheet. I make an outline of what the minimum things are that you have to know to be able to run a Zoom speech contest. And what I did was write a 2-page cheat sheet for both in person meetings as part of the 2 sheets, what you would use, and also online Zoom meetings. And hopefully that'll be helpful to all of you to set up a meeting, and just go down and check those all off. And we'll go over that all next week. But the first thing I've got up here, and I shared a screen, I have join meeting. When you first click on join meeting, this is a little square that comes up, and usually you just go ahead and click join and ignore what it says. That's what I've done for 6 months now, joining Zoom meetings. I paid no attention to the fact that if you look right here where it says Bill Highland, you can change the name of your screen name right when you join the meeting, before you even get into Zoom. Right when you click on join meeting, you can see the here, I'm going to turn on my, what do you call it? Spotlight. Okay. Right down here is our join meeting, new meeting, and right behind here is join meeting schedule. And when you hit that join meeting, you type in the 774, whatever meeting you're going to. Right below that is your name. Now, Elliot, your name would be there without the last name. It would be just Elliot. And so if you want to have your full name there, or for instance, if you want to change it to speech chairperson or whatever right before your name, you could do it before you even go into the meeting. And then we don't have to worry about trying to change it after you're in the meeting. And that occurs right when you're first logging in to the Zoom meeting. Remember, in Zoom, there's 2 or 3 ways to do everything. And one way is to go to the participant icon, then click more and rename your name, or do it right when you first go into the meeting. Is everyone clear on that? And then I would click join. I can't do that here because I did a screenshot of this, so I can't change anything that's on there. I just wanted to show that to you so that you'd have a feeling about what it was about. Okay, now.
Yeah, that's fine.
Max, have I got you down as a co-host yet? I don't think so, do I? Make co-host. Okay, I think I started the recording icon. Max, can you see if I did or?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, good. Okay, now the next one down, once you have a breakout room icon on your settings, when you're the host, you will get a breakout room icon in your toolbar. I don't believe any of you get a breakout room right now because none of you are co-hosts at this minute except for Max. And Max, did you end up with a breakout room icon? Should be about 2/3 of the way across on your toolbar.
I never got it. I got pulled.
Okay, well, I don't think you do. I don't think anybody can create a breakout room except for the host. That way the host has complete control over who's in the breakout room and moving them and things like that. So what you have to do is practice breakout rooms by setting up your cell phone, starting your regular computer on a Zoom meeting, and then add your cell phone onto the same Zoom meeting or your iPad or another computer so that you have a group meeting, or call up one of your buddies and say, we're going to have a Zoom meeting and I'm going to practice breakout rooms. And that will enable you to practice doing a breakout room and seeing these instructions that I'm giving you right now. Now, since we're recording this meeting, you'll be able to review it later this week if you practice it then. And I'm hoping by having a short meeting that I can leave this particular recording on for longer than a week. And we're hopefully not going to have a real long meeting next week either. Okay, so the first thing, when you click breakout rooms, the first thing that pops up is create one breakout room or two or three or whatever, how many you want to make. And that's what this is right here. And then one thing I want you to change immediately is, see where it says assign automatically right here? You want to change that to assign manually. The reason is, for example, if I created a breakout room right now and we have exactly 6 people in this meeting as guests, if I created a breakout room right now and clicked assign automatically, the computer would automatically divide you into 2 meetings of 3 each, or whatever you tell it to. If you tell it to divide it into 6 meetings, you would go into 6 meetings of 1 each. But we don't want to do that. The reason we want to create a breakout room in the first place, well, there's 2 reasons. One is the number one reason you want to create a breakout room is at the end of all the speech presentations, you want to switch the judges, the tellers, and the timekeepers, and probably the speech chairperson to a breakout room so that they can all discuss the scores and who's first, second, third, fourth, and or whatever you're going to do. Actually, you can't go past fourth. After third, fourth, everybody's tied for fourth. If you got 10 contestants, you have first, second, and third, and then you have 6 people tied for fourth. But in order to determine all those points, and I'm going to, show you something else when we get done with this, you really have to switch those people to a breakout room so that they're out of the general guest area and can discuss the scores without being overheard by the other guests in the meeting. So what you're going to do is have, I have a note here. Your internet connection is unstable again. You guys might lose me. I'll try to come back as soon as I can if I get thrown out. I don't know what's happening to my connection. Anyway, does everyone understand that part of it? So you want to be sure to click assign manually, and I'll show you in a minute how you do it manually. that's the first thing you have to do. And then you click create. And what it'll do right now is create one breakout room. But notice, remember, there's more than one way to do everything. So when I got the first breakout room and I clicked create, I told it to see where down here it says add a room. And I clicked on that. And now I've got two breakout rooms. What you could do with two at the beginning of the meeting. Remember last week I went over, some of you weren't here, but I went over, there's three ways for contestants at the beginning of the meeting. One is to have everybody wait in a waiting.
I think we've lost our leader.
Yep.
So Max is going to take over, right?
We just have to wait. Oh, he's back.
He's back.
Sorry about that. Hey, gummit. You know what, I think it's this time of the evening. There's probably so many people on the internet around here that I'm not being able to get through. Uh-oh, network ban. You know what, I'm going to tell my wife to turn the TV off and see if that helps. Honey, is the TV off? Can you turn it off? Oh, crap, I'm crashing all the time in here. Yes. Okay, hopefully she's watching the election. So hopefully I can get back. Let's see, where am I? Okay, here we go. I'm going to go to the share the screen and then go before. Okay. Now, down here, when you first get to this stage, see where it says assign up here? Let me see if I can annotate that. Where it says assign right here, if I click, what I was doing is I was running two computers. I was running my iPad and this computer, and my other computer is called William Highland. So if I click it there and then click open all rooms, what happens is this gets transferred one. And click William Highland, or if I had all of you and I click assign, I would have 6 different choices of people to put in room 1, and then I'd have 5 people that I could put in room 2. And then when I click open all rooms, well, first of all, before I click open all rooms, let me go down a little and explain one more thing. If I click open all rooms before I do, see where it says options right here? If I click open all rooms before I click options, it gives a person a choice of whether to enter the breakout room or not to enter it on your individual computer. If I click right here, automatically move all assigned participants into breakout rooms, it saves you some time, because then you don't have to wait for them to click go to breakout room. And one of the problems is some people, you know, they sit there and they don't even notice that they need to click it. And then 15 minutes later, you've got everybody into the breakout room. However, if you click on options, like up here where we were just now, see this options down here. If you click on it, it gives you before you even click open all breakout rooms, you don't leave that option to them. The minute you click down here, open all breakout rooms, everybody is immediately changed to whatever breakout room you've assigned them. Anybody that you didn't assign to a breakout room stays in the general meeting area. And hopefully you've got a club president or somebody who takes over the meeting while you're doing the breakout room, or you do the breakout room before the meeting. And then when you finish getting all your contestants named and all your judges and speech chairperson and all that named, then you just transfer them by clicking close all rooms down here. Here's another little trick. See this number right here? It says set countdown timer to 15 seconds. I would suggest that you set your countdown timer to like 10 or 5 seconds. That just, when you hit close all rooms, I think the default is 30 seconds and it's just wasted time. If you make it less period of time, it causes the people to be transferred back to the general session immediately. And then you don't have to wait for it to count down or wait for them to say, leave breakout room and join general session. Okay. Hitting a lot of stuff pretty quickly here. Okay. See right here where it says close all breakout rooms. The minute I hit that, what that does is whatever the default setting you have for the number of seconds before the breakout room closes is how long they have to transfer back to the general meeting. So if you leave it at 10 seconds, at the end of 10 seconds, they transfer back whether they agreed to transfer or not. So you have a little bit more control and it takes a little less time. The less time people have to make decisions, the faster it goes, is my take on it. Okay, now we need to move down a little. I don't know what happened to my scroll bar. Oh, there it is. Okay, now, if you have people in breakout room 1 and you want to move them to breakout room 2, all you do is click their name and see where it says move to. You click on move to, and in this case, since we only have one other breakout room, you click on room 2, and that will automatically change this person down to room 2. Once you have them in room 2, okay, whoop. That's what happened here. Notice these words out here that says joined and join. Okay, when I clicked on this, see it says Bill Highland there. I was the host. I got so confused when I first started using breakout rooms. I couldn't figure out why when I originally was trying to assign people to breakout rooms, it said assigned, and then it said not joined. And then I go to click join, and the only thing that happened was I got joined to a breakout room that I didn't plan on going to. Joined and joined only means two things, okay? I'm now in breakout room 1 and I'm the host. If I want to get out of breakout room 1 and go to breakout room 2, the only way I can get there is to go back to the general meeting and then join breakout room 2. Is the only way I can figure to do it. So here I am in breakout room 1 and I want to go to breakout room 2. Down at the bottom of the page, when I'm in breakout room 1, it says leave room, or basically it says leave. So I click on leave and it says leave room, leave meeting. Do not click leave meeting or you'll do what I just did to myself a few minutes ago. You will disappear and no one will see you again. If you click leave, make sure you just put leave room when you click the next 2 options, which will pop up. Because if you click on leave meeting, you've got to log all the way back in to get back to the general meeting. If you click leave room, you will simply leave the breakout room and go to the general meeting. Everybody okay with that so far? Okay. The minute you click close all rooms, everybody, like I said, has whatever the default number of seconds to transfer back to the general meeting. At the end of the 10 seconds or whatever it is, they will automatically transfer back to the meeting. And the reason they give you that default number is you can say default 5 minutes and close the room, and then people have 5 minutes to get their act together to go back into the general meeting. And that's the reason they have that. Okay, going down a little bit further. Leave breakout room is what, remember I told you up here, I'm the host. And if I want to leave the breakout room, I have to click leave breakout room to get out to the general meeting, and then I can come back into breakout room 2. Another thing is when you have more than 2 people in breakout rooms, let's see that I had Max up here in breakout room 1, and I had me down here in breakout room 2 as a guest. You will have a choice of move to or exchange. If you click exchange, it will automatically flip-flop Max and William Highland from breakout room 1 and 2. They will just flip with each other. So when we have 6 people there, you could do an exchange or a move or whatever. Now, if you have 2 breakout rooms open, say 15 minutes before the general meeting starts, you could have your speech contestants in breakout room 1, your judge, your teller, and your timekeeper and your speech chairperson in breakout room 2. And you could say, are there any last minute questions? Does everybody have themselves renamed as Judge Bill Highland or Timekeeper Bill Highland or whatever it is? And then you would be able to close breakout room 2, transfer them all back if you wanted, or you can transfer both rooms at once by simply close all rooms, click that, and everybody will go back to the general meeting. Any questions about breakout rooms? I mean, I really flew through it all. I know that when you're, how many of you have used breakout rooms before? Any of you? Hold your hand up, or if you have. Practice. Remember, the little things drive you crazy, like the word join. That's only for the host. If you click join, the host joins that breakout room. Assign only works at the beginning when you first open breakout rooms. The only way you can move somebody from out of assigned is to click move and then move them to one of the other breakout rooms. You don't get to reassign them again. Any questions on it? And it takes for a while there, I thought, man, these breakout rooms are just complicated. Well, it's because I didn't understand what join meant. Join simply means the host is coming to that breakout room. It does not mean that you're joining the guests to the breakout room. You have to assign them to the breakout room or move them or exchange them is the only way you can get them there. I'm sure you guys are sitting here going, come on, Bill, it's got to be simpler than this.
Well, I can say that I followed you all the way through, but I don't know that I'm comfortable with doing it without doing a practice run ahead of time.
Yeah, I absolutely agree that doing a practice run gives you confidence on everything. And then if you have a breakdown like I just did, you don't get, my nerves are a wreck right now, but maybe I recovered enough that my pride hasn't completely gone away. But that is breakout rooms. And if you listen to this again later on, that might help you as you're trying. What I would do if you have 2 computers is put the recording on one computer, and then you can start and stop the recording and then practice it on your computer with breakout rooms. Remember, the only way you're going to get them though is you got to go into your settings and turn breakout rooms on. It's kind of fun to do, to flip around with it. And it's even more fun if you call up your old college roommate and say, hey, let's practice Zoom. And you start flipping them through all the breakout rooms. And one thing you could do to someone that's giving you trouble is just transfer them to a breakout room. And they won't have a way to get out. And by the way, one of the options down here is to allow the guest to leave the breakout room and join the general meeting by themselves. In other words, you can block that so that they can't transfer out of the breakout room unless you give them permission. Or if you say they can transfer back to the general meeting at their leisure. I forget what the wording is. It's under options, which will allow the person to leave the breakout room whenever they feel like it. And for the judges and timekeeper and stuff like that, that would probably be a good option to have clicked.
Now, if you click that, does that go to automatically all breakout rooms?
No, for that person. Well, no, just yes, it goes to all breakout rooms.
What I'm getting at is if you have a breakout room set aside for those people you want to just leave out, don't want to get involved.
Just unclick it, transfer them in.
Transfer them to that one.
And unclick it. Then they won't be able to transfer back.
Okay,
in.
But if I do that, all other rooms, it can't transfer out of either.
That's correct.
Okay.
I think. I'm not absolutely sure on that, Dean, because I haven't really, I really haven't had to worry about that too much. I don't think any of us will either.
Probably not.
Yeah, if you're teaching third grade, that might be something that you want to worry about. But anyway, I'm going to switch over now and go to something that I sent out to you guys the other day. I don't know if any of you have a chance to click on the link and try out the spreadsheet?
Yes.
Yeah. How did that work out pretty well for you, Dean? Or did you?
Yes. My question is that spreadsheet, all judges would have access to the same, in other words, they could see each other's results, right?
No. Let me open it up and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Now I got to figure out how in the heck I've got to, hadn't thought about this. I've got this running right now and I need to switch over to, here's an interesting little tidbit for you. If you're running a shared screen on Google Drive is where docs, sheets, slides, everything is. If you open up a Google Drive document to share, and then you say, oh, but I want to have a sheet like I'm doing right now. I want 2 Google Drive documents at once. When you open one and then shrink it to share it later on, then you open another one, it automatically covers the original document, and now you've only got the one document to look at. This threw me for a loop because the trick is you want to show, I want to show you guys both documents, but one is a sheet, which is a spreadsheet, and one is a doc, which is the one I just showed you that I did the screenshots of. And the problem is that it erases the other one. So what you do to get around that is open up your Google Drive and make it the shrink document. When you share your screen, like I'm doing right now, I'm clicking on Sheets. Now and I'm going to bring up my Yuba City judges speech scores. I did the same thing for my club that I did to each of you. I'm going to click on it. And what you guys would be doing is clicking on the link that I gave you in that email. By the way, you can share that link with anybody in your club and they will be able to use it. However, if you copy that link and paste it into another email, it will lose the link capability. And to get the link capability back, there's a little figure 8 up in the upper right-hand corner of your email screen. If you mark and bound the link and then click that link, figure 8, you'll get a little screen that says URL and text. Paste the link into URL and it will go all blue on your email. And that means that the link has been established. And then if you only click on it, it will go directly to the spreadsheet. However, if you mark and bound it and then right click and copy and paste it in your address line, it works like a link. It just is a little bit longer to do it, and it will also work. But you can basically share that link with anybody in your club. And if there's more than 2 people on it's really neat the way this works. If you have 2 people on this, right now, down here at this bottom, can everybody see where I'm pointing at? It says Judge A,
Yeah.
Judge B, Judge C, and tellers and timekeepers. So Judge A would be there. Judge B would turn it on and would automatically clip on Judge B. Now, Judge B can't see Judge A right now. All they can see is Judge B. If they go to Judge C, that person, and see right up here, it says Judge C. This one should say Judge B, and this one says Judge A. While they're filling out their scores, either while they're doing the meeting or in the breakout room when they all finish. And let's do some scores here. I'll just put some numbers in here. Let's say 8, 7, 6, 3. Whoop, I clicked that faster than I should have. Okay, 3. Notice how I erased that. I simply hit delete and it will go away, or you can hit backspace. 4, 5 or something, 7. I'm just going to clear down here. 8, 5, 3. Now watch this. I'm going to click here. I'm going to hold shift down. I just blocked this in. I'm going to right click it, hit copy. I'm going to go up here, right click it, click paste. Guess what I'm doing? I'm practicing. Paste. And I'm going to have what? 4 different sets of scores right there. Now I'm going to go to Judge B and I'm going to make another list, or I could just copy and paste it again, but I'm going to make it different so that I have different scores on this page. Whoop, sorry. Okay, we need to delete that one. Okay, 6, 5, 4. Okay. Please read right here. Do not edit blue areas.
Right.
Notice there's scores in here. If you edit the blue areas, there's a Murphy's Law chance that it will actually allow you to edit it. Now, I have to tell you that I particularly was careful to protect the blue areas so you can't fool with them. But knowing how my life goes, you will be in the middle of a speech contest and decide to delete your blue area. And underneath this number is a formula. That's how that number gets there. If my protection breaks down somehow and you delete that number 52, guess what happens to all your calculations? They no longer work. The spreadsheet is worthless. So if this happens to you during a contest or when you're just practicing and you corrupt the file, that's a real good word, corrupting the file, call Bill, that's me, and I can correct it right on the spot. I can go in there and do one of 2 things. Copy the formula back in there without even explaining to you what I'm doing, and you will be immediately up and running again. Or I can just give you a brand new link which you would have to share with your other judges with a new file. If it's so corrupted that I can't correct it on the spot, I will simply send you a new file and you are up and running again. So I have made this foolproof up until probably the contest when you erase something down here in the blue area. Here's something else you should be aware of. I put a score in there, but nothing changed down here, did it? Can everyone see that? I put an 8 up here.
Yeah.
No change. Watch what happens when I click in the next cell down.
Yeah.
It recorded it. Notice also that there's no score down here right now. In the speech, how many of you were speech contest chairs last year? Anybody? You were, Dean.
Yep.
There's a thing called tiebreakers, aren't there?
Yes.
See the little star right there?
Yes.
That's a tiebreaker score. See this score right here, imaginative? That's a tiebreaker score. See this one right here, clarity of ideas? That's a tiebreaker score. Now, if you take 7 plus 4 plus 4, what do you get?
15.
Hey, Dean, you were on a contest last year. Is that pretty valuable right there all by itself?
Big time.
No kidding. When it took you, what, 20 minutes to a half an hour to figure out scores and total them and all that, and tiebreakers and timekeeper scores, it's all automatic in real time. The minute you put the score in there, it's throughout the whole spreadsheet, including the other judges' scores. So watch what happens here. Let's make some more scores. Let's see, 5, 4, 9, 2, 6, 8, 4, and 8. Now watch this. I mark and bound this by holding the shift key down. Now what have I blocked out? 2 different sets of scores, right? I come up here, click on this corner, paste, and I only got one of them to come out. I don't know why that happened, but at any rate, so I'm going to paste.
Probably because you only have one column. If you would have highlighted 2 columns at the top, I bet both of them would come up.
That probably would be true. At any rate, that's a good point. So anyway, when I did 4 of them before, I think I did 4 last time. Okay, let's try it this time and see if that works. Shift. Okay, I got 4 down here. Now I'm going to go to, oh, wait a minute. I wanted to copy that. Now I'm going to go down here to Judge C. I'm going to click here and go over 4. Let's see if I paste. There we go. That was it.
Yep.
My own spreadsheet, and I don't even completely understand it. So anyway, these are all the scores for this particular judge. Let's go out here to timekeeper and tellers. And okay, let's say, okay, the rule is for timekeepers, if it's anything less than 5 minutes or more than 8 minutes, it's 2 points per minute or fraction of a minute over or under the score. So let's say this guy was 30 seconds under, so that would be 2 points, right? And this guy was 30 minutes over, so that would be 2 points. This guy was a minute and a half under, so that would be 4 points. And this guy was 3 minutes over, so that would be, I think that would be 4 points also, wouldn't it? Or let's see, what was, 2 minutes. So 4 minutes, he was 2 minutes over, so that'd be 4 points. Notice, okay, remember, I got to take this off to get it to subtract. And there are final points, and this includes the timekeeper scores subtracted. And so there you are. with the total of all their points. And up here, Dean, you're going to love this. There are the tiebreaker scores if you
Yep.
need to use them. So if, let's say that we've got two people here at 164, and let's say that they were both in second place or first place. What, I'm sorry, second place, make it second place. What you would do is go up here, and because we gave them exactly the same scores, they ended up with the same tiebreaker scores too. And if one of them had 4 minutes, what I did is I didn't take the time penalties away from the tiebreaker scores. And the reason I didn't do that, I thought the more complicated I make this, the more people are going to get upset. So basically, if you end up in a tiebreaker score, it will not have the subtraction from the time penalty from the tiebreaker score. So you would have to subtract it. And so 51 would be 57 or 47. And this one would be 47. And I don't know what you'd do if they're exactly tied. I would just give them both second place. I think, I don't know. Anyway, does that make sense? And this, by the way, the timekeeper can be working on this at the same time the judges are working on their individual sheets. And they could do it during the competition, or they could do it in the breakout room after they're finished. By the way, this, oh, I forgot to mention something that's kind of critical. Notice this little slide bar under here. Notice what it does. Contestant 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 10. And if you're doing this with a cell phone, this column right here stays where it's at. It's frozen, and you can move it over on your cell phone. And basically a cell phone screen can at least get 1 or 2 columns in, but you can even get away with just 1 column. Put your scores down as you're doing this contest, if you're comfortable with that. By the way, this is on Google Drive, so if your power goes out during the competition, it's saved automatically. Some people may prefer to do their speech scores on the old paper, traditional paper, which is in your executive handbook. And you could just print those out, and they could keep their scores on paper and then do this either between the meeting or contestants, or do it in the breakout room after the contestants were done. And any questions on the spreadsheet?
Like I said earlier, I follow you, but I'm sure I need to practice before I
Well,
be put on the spot.
What I just showed you about doing scores. Now let's get rid of the scores and start over. You can go like this and delete all these scores at once. See what I did? Is everybody following what I'm doing? All I did was click on the upper corner, went down to the far corner, held the shift key down, clicked, and then simply hit delete.
Bill, you said that everybody can enter information on here if you forward it to them in a certain way, and I didn't follow that. So you have to forward it in the in an email, but in the regarding line, where is it? It has to be, so it's all linked.
If I sent you an email, I think it was last week, with this link in the email with an explanation, I think.
Okay, I'll go back and look at it because I did not open it.
Oh, okay. Open that email, and it's got a link to this file specifically for your club. this file, in other words, I took and made 37 separate files, was a pain in the neck, because if I give you all the same file, you will all be fighting over it. Because anybody that has that link to your specific club can get to this file.
I see.
So there's 37 separate files. Some of the clubs, I only have the president. I don't even have a speech chairperson. So only the president gets it. In some of your clubs, you have a technology coordinator, you have a speech chairperson, you might have one or two judges by now. And I sent it to each of them for your specific club. If you corrupt your club file, just call me up and say, hey, Bill, guess what we did? And I will go into my Google Docs and I have every one of your files in a list in sheets. Take Fair Oaks or Yuba City or whatever it is. I have a separate file for each of you, and I will simply go into that file and correct whatever the problem is. So your question, Amy, was how do you get to that file? There's two different ways. I made a link so that all you have to do is right click it and click open in new window, or mark and bound the link that's in your email. Right click it, click copy, open up your browser, whether it's Yahoo or whatever, whatever browser you're using or internet connection. In your address bar, you simply right click and click paste that link right in your browser bar, and you can go directly to it. Keep in mind, Del, you have to have a Google account. How you get a Google account is you go to your browser bar and say, create a Google account, or what's even better, in my opinion, is create a Google email, Gmail email. In other words, a Gmail is a Google email. If you create a Gmail account, that automatically creates a Google account. And so then when you want it, when it automatically creates it, then the username would be your email and your password would be the password for your Gmail account. And that's what I did on the, I'm losing my voice. I'm having so much fun. When I made up the recruitment flyers, I put a contact, I have it right here, rotarydrzoom@gmail.com. And somebody accused me of making up a flyer without putting for further information. I left it blank. Well, I left it blank because you're supposed to put your name and email in there. So I thought, well, I'm not going to let them trick me. And every kid needs to have some way to contact a Rotary Club. So I just went in and made myself a new Gmail account called rotarydrzoom@gmail.com. Then they can send me whatever they want, and I will forward it to the club that's nearest to them. And so that's how easy it is to do. By the way, having a Gmail account or a Google account is free. So you don't have anything to lose. Plus it gives you access to this spreadsheet, because all you have to do then is put your Gmail address in and password. By the way, there's a shortcut in there. When you go to click this and open it up, it says, do you want to join with your username and password, or do you want to click on your Google account? If you click on your Google account, it gives you which account do you want to use? Well, if you already have a Gmail, you just click on that Gmail and you're automatically in. That's how easy it is. And to create a Gmail account, just go to create Google account or create Gmail account. Both of them do the same thing, but when you create a Gmail account, it just simplifies things because you know it's easier to use and remember that than to try to remember what your username is and password for Google and use a Gmail account. By the way, my Word for Windows account was from 2007. And last year they sent me a message that said, we will no longer support Word for Windows for 2007. Do you want to upgrade? So I clicked on upgrade. Guess what? You can't buy Word for Windows anymore. The only thing you can do is get a monthly subscription. And I think it was like $9.95 a month or something. And being a cheapskate, I said, what the hell? And then my 2007 Word for Windows started acting up. It would create a space and a half between paragraphs. It would do all kinds of weird stuff. And I think they were just trying to get me mad and make me join Word for Windows. You know, it's called Windows 365 now. And for the monthly fee, you get, what's it, like slides or whatever. Then I discovered Google Drive and Google Docs and Google Slides and Google Sheets, which I'm all, and it's all free. And I'm sitting there going, here's the drawback. If you used to, you guys are, none of you are old enough to have Radio Shack computers, I don't think. I started on Radio Shack computers and everything was control this and control that and shift this and shift that. Well, that's what Google Docs is. Pretty much it has a lot of keyboard shortcuts and it does now. Actually the menus are getting better and better. And in fact, I'm hardly noticing a difference between Google Docs, Slides, and Sheets. Slides are the PowerPoint presentations. Sheets are what we're doing right now with this one. That's the spreadsheet. And Docs are the word processing program. And they work absolutely fabulously and they're free. And not only that, but the other day I joined Dropbox, and Dropbox immediately started uploading all my files. And I go, what the, you know, because I was planning on sending pictures over email. And, you know, if you get very big pictures, they don't go on email. So anyway, it started uploading all my files. I said, what the? And what they were doing, about 3 minutes later, it says, your Dropbox cloud-based file is full. Do you want to upgrade? Well, you guys already know I'm a cheapskate. So I clicked, well, what? So I clicked upgrade and they want to charge me $10 a month to store files that I don't even want to keep anyway. So then I decide, all right, you guys, you really ticked me off now. I'm going to immediately uninstall Dropbox. So I click uninstall Dropbox and guess what? It says, warning, all files that are linked to Dropbox are going to be deleted on your computer. And I go, wow, this is the biggest bait and switch I've ever experienced in my life. So I get on Google and say, okay, how do you delete Dropbox without deleting your whole computer? And they said, unlink your files to Dropbox. So I go in and unlink my files and then delete the Dropbox, uninstall it. And all my files are still there. But if you click on them, they say this file does not exist anymore. So luckily for me, last year I started using Google Drive for everything. And it's all on Google Drive. And so I basically didn't lose anything that I really felt bad about losing. I had a bunch of stuff backed up on an external hard drive. That's a long story that you guys didn't want to hear, but just a warning, when weird things happen, it's kind of nice to be on the cloud sometimes. anyway, that's all I have for today. And have a good time watching the political things happening tonight. And hopefully we're all happy when it ends. So any last minute questions? Next week, tomorrow I'm going to send you guys all my cheat sheet. And I did talk about that with Dean. I don't know if I talked about it with the rest of you or not. But basically, I've made up a cheat sheet on how to do a in-person speech contest. And on the same 2 pages, I put on how to do a Zoom speech contest. Because what I did is I just took the most important facts you need to know to run a Zoom contest and put them there, as well as how to find where those facts are or what to do, so that you can go step by step through the cheat sheet and organize a speech contest. And what I'm going to do next week is go through that cheat sheet with you and make sure everybody understands exactly what's in there and why I put it there. And that's our last training meeting, at least until somebody talks me into running some more. So,
Okay. Yeah, well, thank you very much. That would be really helpful. Looking forward to the cheat sheet.
okay. And I need to talk to Andrea a little while. Are you still here, Andrea? Good. She's not admitting it.
Thank you very much. I appreciate all the education and all your hard work.
Oh, I'm having a good time. This keeps me out of trouble sometimes. Although,
Thank you, Bill.
anyway, talk to you all later.
right.
Andrea, are you still there? You're muted.
I'm
Bill,
here.
thank you.
I'm here.
See you next week.
Okay.
Thank you, Bill.
So long, everyone. Let's see. I wanted to turn off the. There we go.
Bye, Grandpa.